Quickly, you are aware of that, aren't you?
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president
Liz.
has
We're
called,
also
the
worried
president,
about Liz Cheney,
the
Senator.
president has
You know
called
what we
for
should
this.
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
the
please
crime rate
answer
in
my
California
questions.
right now
You are
is
aware,
through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your robberies
Ms.
are
Bondi,
87% higher than the national
my question
average.
is this.
That's what I
My
want to be
question is this.
focused on, Senator.
Do you have the
if I'm
power to
confirmed
say
as
no to the
Attorney
president?
General.
And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good attorney general, to be able to tell hard truths to the president. So my questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell us, can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it. I won't play politics with any ongoing investigation.
So let me ask you another.
Like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you'd be able to review hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file I am asked to look at.
Of course you won't. So will you advise the president?
Can I answer the question?
Well, my question is.
I would have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
You'll be able to review hundreds of cases on the first day?
I'm not going to mislead this body nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that. Let me ask another question.
You were censured by Congress, Senator, for comments just like this that are so reckless.
Want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, what's going on, beautiful people, my brothers and sisters? I hope everybody is blessed, well, and healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life. We got some more good news, like everybody's to be confirmed. Looking good for everybody right now. And there's still people need to be put their hands behind their back. And that shouldn't even open up their mouths. Especially what Trump called them, watermelon head. Watermelon head. And they ought to come in there and walk him out with his hands behind his back. But this is why the Dems lost, man. This is why they lost. And some big things are going to take place these next two years, these next 4 years. I hope they're ready. People need to be held accountable, man. No other way around it. People need to be held accountable.
Today, Pam Bondi's confirmation hearing for Attorney General continues with testimony from additional witnesses after explosive moments with some of the Democrats on the Hill yesterday.
Are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that question.
No, it's not hypothetical.
I will never play.
How does he have any nerve to ask any question? I'm telling you, they ought to walk in there and make him put his hands behind his back. Watermelon, what Trump called him, watermelon head. Watermelon head, I like that, man. Trump crazy as hell. Watermelon head.
Play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it. I won't play politics with any ongoing investigation.
So let me ask you.
You say the right things, that you're going to be the people's lawyer. That's what you have to say to be here.
You said that I have to sit up here and say these things. No, I don't. I sit up here and speak the truth.
Boom. The host of the Ingram Angle, Laura Ingram, joins us now. How good was she? She held her own, didn't she?
Oh, man. Pam Bondi demonstrated, not only in her answers to these insipid, backward-looking questions, but in her entire performance, she elicited from the Democrats all of the comments that remind us of why the Democrats lost in 2024. They are not focused on the issues that Americans care about. They're talking about Liz Cheney, who couldn't win in her own district. They're focusing on the 2020 election, and they're focusing on the weaponization of the FBI after they spent the last 9 years using government influence to try to put Donald Trump in prison. So, I mean, I'm watching this going, have these people learned anything? And the answer is no. Pam Bondi's going to sail through. And frankly, the Democrats on the committee just embarrassed themselves and showed absolutely zero ability to reflect on their own failures and the failure of their party overall.
When Adam Schiff was asking about Liz Cheney, she said, you're so worried about Cheney and that you should be worried about the crime rate in California. I loved that moment. And Mazie Hirono, she said, I tried to meet with you and you wouldn't take my meeting. What kind of stood out for you, Laura?
Well, I think, again, Adam Schiff, of course, now senator of a state that is losing population, that is suffering from incompetent leadership. That is a crime-ridden, overrun with illegal aliens.
Running everybody out of there.
Can't manage to prepare when they know severe winds are going to present massive dangers to entire communities. They have no preparation in place. And Adam Schiff spends his time focusing with Pam Bondi on the 2020 election and whether she's going to be Donald Trump's henchman against Liz Cheney. And Pam Bondi was Attorney General of one of the most successful states in the United States. And Adam Schiff represents one of the states that is most in crisis in our country. It tells the story of politics today. Donald Trump represents the people's interests, and the Democrats are mired back into radical politics that has not created a single job or saved a single life. That's the truth. And Pam Bondi, stellar, as was Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth. It's competence versus a total lack of credibility on the other side.
You're absolutely right. I was watching your show last night and you were talking about Biden's farewell address and what to expect. You were asking your guests. Well, he gave that speech after your show last night at 8 o'clock. Here's a clip of that and we'll get your reaction on the other side.
This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked.
Oh, boy.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
What did you think, Laura?
Okay, this is unwitting comedy on the part of Joe Biden. His policies of globalization, all the trade policies that he supported over the last 50 years, the WTO in China, outsourcing jobs, all of that. These were Joe Biden's policies. He's the one who famously said the rise of China is not a threat to us. Now he's complaining that we've created all these billionaires in the United States? Really? Okay, 5 minutes ago, he was working with the high-tech industry to try to censor conservatives, and he's mad now because that's, for the most part, not completely, but for the most part, that's been minimized. What they wanted was the voices of opposition shut down, Ainsley, and they looked to high-tech to do that. But when you look at all the most wealthy enclaves in the United States that apparently he's complaining about, Greenwich, Connecticut, Brentwood in California, Cambridge in Massachusetts, Bethesda, Maryland, not too far from where I am right now. Who represents those districts? Who represents those states? Liberals.
That's right.
So if Joe Biden is upset that all these wealthy people are out there, influencing politics, who's to blame for that? Joe Biden, his party's to blame for that. So I found that this speech, it
make him turn around.
It was sad for the country, but in 50 years, Ainsley, there are going to be 1,000 books written about Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Biographies. There will be zero written about Joe Biden.
Zero.
That's the truth.
All right, Laura, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
Great to see you guys.
I hope to see you in Washington this
They
morning.
might make one. It might be called the worst administration in American history. They might make 1 or 2, 3 books, y'all. So I can't say zero. Yeah. Worst presidency, worst administration. It might be named one of them. I'm telling you, just wait for it. Just wait for it.